Oh, hello. Looks like we've got a couple people on. Welcome. Tonight we're in a new spot. Matt is busy working tonight again, and so it'll just be you and I. But there's still a few minutes before we start, so if you want to put something in the chat, I would love to hear from you and include any of your requests in class tonight. All right, welcome new person. Glad to have you tonight. And let's see, it is 6:58, so we will start in 2 or 3 minutes. And if you have a request, you can drop it in the chat. I even have my phone here, so you could text me your request if you don't have the chat, or if you just want to text me. And if you don't know my phone number, you can get on the in crowd. Just send me an email. I'll let you know. All right, 1 minute away. Let's see who we've got here. Oh, wonderful. We've got 4. So glad to have you all. All right, it looks like it's 7, so we shall begin. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining tonight. And it's just me tonight. Matt got in at 1 a.m. from our East Coast trip, and he's still working. So we don't have live music, but I am wearing one of Matt's shirts to bring his spirit into the class tonight. So welcome back, everyone. And I gotta say, it's been a hard couple of days getting back into the flow of work after being on vacation for a couple of weeks. And I know I should be super grateful that I have a job, and that's what I would tell anyone who is complaining about their job, or what I'm probably supposed to tell them. But I think you can relate. It's always really hard. There's so much more fun stuff to do in the world than be at a computer sometimes. But I am not letting my thinking get stuck there. And I've been reading this book this week. I've shared this with you before. It's The Wisdom of Sundays by Oprah Winfrey. And in this book, she talks to a bunch of different great spiritual thinkers and just interesting people about all kinds of topics around mindfulness. So what I've been reading this chapter now about just being in the present moment and how we can feel that same joy, we can feel that same calm, that same peace, even in moments that aren't those typical, the typical take your breath away moments, I suppose. And so I'm going to share just a short reading with you before we jump in today. So first, just come to a comfortable seat. You can go ahead and get the wiggles out. Feel yourself grounding down. Let your spine be long. And relax your shoulders. If you're not feeling like sitting in this moment, you've got a moment. You can go ahead and lie down instead. So wherever you are, just settling in, beginning to let the day just melt away. So this is a conversation, so I may take some liberties in reading this in a way that flows out of it. This is Oprah talking to Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor, who's someone I don't actually know. So anyways, pay attention to how things feel in your body, because you know what you feel like in your body when you get angry. And you have a choice when you get angry of either being angry or of paying attention to what it feels like in your body when you're angry. And when you have that kind of physiological response when you get angry, it only takes 90 seconds. It takes 90 seconds from the moment you feel that trigger happen and you feel yourself starting to get angry for the chemicals to flush through your body and then flush completely out of you. 90 seconds is all. So she then goes on to talk about how we can let that 90 seconds be all, or we can keep that cycle, that loop of thoughts happening, and that anger and that emotion keeps looping as well. So we're going to do a short exercise here to just observe for about 90 seconds and see if there's any loops, any emotions that are just routinely floating around that we can begin to let go. Take a deep breath in and a big sigh out. And just start to observe how your body feels in this moment. Just observing any place you might be able to sense emotion. And you become aware of your thoughts as an observer, not attaching to them, just observing. Anything you notice, take these next few breaths here to make a commitment to letting it go. If that emotion or that thought is necessary or helpful, or you're just not sure if you're ready to let it go, make a commitment to put it down for this next hour. You can surely pick it up at the end of class if you want, but just put it down for this hour, and then you can come back with fresh eyes and ears later. If it's helpful to you, you might even touch your hands to the place where you feel the emotion and imagine sort of grabbing it and just placing it on the ground, letting the earth absorb that emotion or that thought pattern. Let's just take 2 more breaths here, maybe allowing a deep inhale and an exaggerated sigh. And when you're ready, transitioning to all fours, tabletop. Take a moment to set up your tabletop. You can wiggle a little side to side so you get on that just right spot on your knees. Maybe folding your mat if you're on a hard surface. Press your hands down and really press into not just the tips of the fingers, but also the pads of the hands. Maybe rotating your elbow creases forward and then pressing down into that L shape, that finger and thumb. From here, we'll take some cat-cow breaths. Just go ahead and move at your own pace, rounding in, perhaps on the inhale, and lengthening on the exhale. We'll be here for about 5 more slow rounds of breath. Maybe observing the pause between the inhale and the exhale, or between the exhale and inhale. We do this one a lot in class because it's such a great way to just stretch out the spine. When you've completed your next round, come back to neutral, and we'll tuck the toes and set up for a downward dog. So first, press down into your hands and imagine lifting your knees. Just imagine that and notice what your core does. So really activating through the core. One more breath. And this time, go ahead and pick up your knees, hips to the sky, tailbone reaching high. Keep your knees bent. Let your heels be high as you reach, reach, reach. Relax your head and neck. And from here, maybe beginning to straighten your legs, beginning to reach your heels down. This might be an intense pose for the beginning of class for some people, so just know that that's okay. Hold as long as you can, and if you can, we'll stay for about 3 breaths. On your next inhale, shift forward to plank. Coming down, hips even with the rest of your body, pressing into the mat. Drop to your knees, and we'll come to a child's pose. Knees can be wide if you'd like, toes touching. Sit back and drop your forehead to the mat. And take a moment to just breathe here. Notice any physiological changes that just one or two poses might have had. Child's pose is a great place to let go. It's almost like a mudra for your whole body, or a gesture. And in this gesture, we're symbolizing, or this gesture can be a symbol of just letting go, surrendering to the earth. And you choose what it is you want to surrender. Maybe letting go of any fear that isn't helping. Certainly not letting go of hopes and dreams, but perhaps letting go of attachment on the outcome. So we can still work towards our dreams without fearing the result, without worrying about the bumps in the road. When you're ready, come on up to all fours once more. This time, instead of cat-cow movement, we'll take a little side to side. So gazing towards your left and your right, hips moving side to side. Feel free to exaggerate this movement. And you can even take some circles with your hips. Again, just being careful with your knees. If you're on hardwood, you might want to double up. And then coming back to center. Tuck your toes, and one more time, let's go to downward dog, lifting the hips high to the sky. Feeling that length in the back of the legs, length through your spine, your neck, your arms. Building strength in your back, flexibility. And once again, we'll hold for 3 breaths here. This time, go ahead and walk your feet to meet your hands to meet your feet. Come to a forward fold, relax. You can cross your hands inside your elbow creases. Excuse me, got a friend on my mat here. And just hang here. You can go ahead and bend your knees if you'd like to place your upper body, letting it rest on your upper legs. Or if you're looking for that stretch, you can re-straighten the legs. Breathing into the back side of the body here. And maybe swaying a little bit left and right. Come to center. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Slowly roll to stand. Arms reach overhead. And palms meet at heart center. Let's do a couple rounds of half sun salutes. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Slowly roll to stand. Two more, your choice if you want to keep going just as you are, or maybe try crossing right ankle in front of left for this round, and then switching it for the next round. And that'll change the stretch, bringing it to the outsides of the legs. It's also a little bit of a balance challenge. Anytime we do asymmetrical movements, it also helps the brain. We have to focus a little bit differently. We have to readjust. And we might even get a little message that, hey, it's okay if things aren't perfect, perfectly aligned. We can still find the balance. We can still find our own grace in that pose. Take your time finishing up your last round. And when you're done, pause with your hands at heart center. Take just another moment here, maybe 90 seconds, to just observe the body, noticing if there are any emotions, any repetitive thought patterns being left unchecked. Let's just observe them, and if they're not helpful, just setting an intention to let them go. And when you're ready, you can relax your hands. Just take a moment to shake it all out. So we're going to come long ways on the mat, feet just a little bit apart here. So we're going to make a couple shapes, starting with a big T with the arms here. So reaching the arms in opposite directions, fingers extending. From here, turn the palms up to the sky and reach your thumbs back a little bit further. So you might feel a little bit of a stretch in your chest here. Take a breath and palms turn down and come back to center. Reaching now, left arm to the sky, but instead of having a line from the left leg, make the line from your right leg. So not going so deep here, but just opening through the chest. So if you could draw a line, it would be from the tip of your left fingers to the tip of your right toes. And then back to center and other side. Open through your chest. So it's just a little different of a stretch. It's not really a modified version of the usual pose. It's more of a focus on the chest here as opposed to the side body. And now we'll come back to our usual version, reaching a little further, maybe working on that line from left foot to left hand. And if you'd like, even going a little further for that half moon pose. One or two more breaths. And then up through center, take a breath here. And other side. Side stretching feels so great on the lungs. At least for me, they just open up. I get that good breath. So this week was the midsummer or the solstice this weekend. Come on back to center and release. We'll take some shoulder rolls. So I wonder if any of you had a chance to celebrate the solstice I got to go out and see some friends and be in a park and get some real human hugs. That was pretty cool. Last one. And let it go. Okay, one more little moving shape we'll make here. Feet can spread a little wider. So we're gonna do a kind of a side twist here, moving with the breath. So there are different versions of this exercise. If you have one that you like better, feels better for your body, you can modify it. But otherwise, we're gonna inhale, arms up, and then exhale, right hand comes towards the right foot, planting down a few inches in front, and we're gonna twist. You can take a breath or two here. And then when you're ready, on your inhale, you can come back up, moving slowly. I think I even moved a little too fast. And other side, left hand coming towards the left foot. So you might use a block here or a chair or furniture, whatever you've got. A breath or two in the twist. And when you're ready, come back to center. So you can move at your own pace. You can also do this exercise one breath to one movement. I like holding in the twist a little bit because it helps me make sure I really align and reset. But both ways are nice. And either option, make sure you're keeping your spine long in the twist. Twists are a great way to just kind of wring out the body, detoxify, and also detoxify emotions too. So if there's anything you observed in our 90-second observations, well, here's another chance to just keep things moving in the right direction. I like this move a lot for breath too. So you might find at the end, you can get a nice full deep breath. Okay, let's make this the last one, or if you need to even out, you can do that and relax your hands down. Okay, great job, everyone. While we're here with this wide-legged stance, turn the toes of the right foot forward. We're gonna come down to a warrior two. If you've got a little more space, just wiggle the feet apart. And we're just gonna bend and straighten a few times. Hands can be on the hips or wherever feels good. So you don't have to go too far too fast. You don't have to go to your deepest possible warrior two, but just go to a place where you start to feel a stretch. And once you're ready, you can hold there. So we're gonna do a side angle. Arms come up to parallel. And from here, you can either come just a hand on the right leg or the elbow. Or if you want, oops, see my knee is starting to unbend. I'm gonna make sure to bend that. And if you'd like, if you have the range today, you can extend your right hand, reaching it towards your ankle, using that little bit of leverage to peel open. Keep your neck long, spine long, breathe here. And then we'll just pivot all the way down to a low lunge. Both hips face the front of the mat, the small end of the mat. I'm just gonna rock forward and back on the back foot. Letting those hips sink down. And then you can drop down to your knee, untuck the toes. Press into the top of the foot here so you take the pressure out of the knee. Just a couple breaths here. And then we'll rock it back. So you can walk the front toes forward a little bit if you'd like. And then toes to the sky. So we're just gonna hold here for a moment. If you prefer the rocking forward and back, you can certainly do that. But I am gonna hold because I have been on a new weight training routine these last couple of days. So my sisters got me on this new program, and oh my goodness, my legs, I'm working them so hard that I need a little extra stretching. So what I'm doing here is just really breathing into it, going to that place of first resistance, taking some breath, and then seeing if I can go a little further. When you're ready, you can rock it forward. We're going to do a crowd pleaser here and come right to pigeon. So just heel toe the right foot over and come down to any version of pigeon that you'd like. Maybe bringing your hands to prayer position and releasing your head. Getting a stretch in your neck. Just keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Or if you'd like, crossing the arms and coming all the way down. I know pigeon doesn't work for everyone. You can also do figure 4. So that's lying on your back and just hugging in your shin. And in this pigeon, just take a moment here of introverted time, letting the rest of the world just fall away. Just enjoying your own breath and the feeling of your own body opening up, expanding. Keep breathing deeply, allowing that breath to reach the bottom of your lungs, filling up completely. Is there any way you can show yourself a little more kindness in this pose? When you're ready, you can walk your way back up, swing your left leg around, and we're going to extend the right leg long. So pivot so that you are facing your right foot here. We're going to combine the hamstring stretching with the twisting we've done to do a little bit of a deeper twist. So first, just lengthen through your spine and begin to walk forward any amount. Take a couple of breaths here. If you feel any tweaking in your spine, just come back up or make any adjustments that you need. If it feels okay, you can reach your left hand either to the outside of your shin or maybe to the outside of your foot. And from here, you can leverage with your right hand on the floor to twist open to the right side. If you feel any pain or anything tweaking in your back, just unwind. This isn't a no pain, no gain situation. In yoga, we very quickly learn the difference between pain and discomfort. So discomfort is okay, and in fact, finding that peace within the discomfort is where the magic of yoga really happens. But anything sharp, anything that makes you go, ow, we we don't need to do that. Just a few more breaths here. And if you'd like, for the last couple, you could even reach your right hand around for a little bind as you twist a little further. Keep your spine long, always spine long. And then slowly unwind and come on back up. All right, hope you got some good breaths there, some good stretching. We're gonna come back to standing and do all of that on the other side. So let's take a little palate cleanser in between here and come to cat-cow. Or actually, let's do a puppy dog pose. Just walk the hands forward and stretch the spine long. Drop the forehead and chest towards the floor. Hips are up high, so a little different from child's pose. Feels good to lengthen the spine after all that twisting. And then we'll transition through downward dog, just on the way to standing. Holding for a breath or two, and then walk your way to center. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Slowly roll to stand. Arms reach. And palms meet at heart center. One more time, taking a scan of the body, just observing any emotions, any thought patterns, and making a choice to let go of anything that's not helpful in this moment. When you're ready, flutter your eyes open, they're closed, and we'll come to that wide-legged stance once more. So I think we all loved it on the first side, so let's do it on this side too. We'll come back to our twisting and breathing. So inhale, arms open wide. Exhale, right hand towards left foot. Nice, twist open here, long spine. On your inhale, coming back to center, and other side. We'll do about 3 rounds, so 3 times on each side. This is 1, and you can move at your own pace here. Oh my gosh, you guys, Matt got us a waffle maker. What am I going to do with a waffle maker? I think there are a lot of savory recipes you can do with waffles, like chickpea flour and some yummy stuff on top. Anyways, something tells me it will get some use. So if you want to come over for waffles, just let me know. And when you're ready, when you finish your next round, come to center, and we'll take those same shoulder rolls. Well, yes, it's always a different shoulder roll. You can't take the same shoulder roll twice, but similar. We'll take similar shoulder rolls. And now other side, turning the left toes out, maybe widening the stance. We'll just do a little bend and straighten, the old bend and straighten, if you will. And it's a classic, bend and straighten. I always love the look of waffles with like the whipped cream, whipped coconut cream in my case, lots of syrup and fruit piled high, but I always want savory. That's like a whole meal, you know? One of these days I'm just gonna have a salad for dinner and then like a huge dessert. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, bend into your warrior two. Arms come to parallel. And then you can choose if you want to take just a little side angle, or maybe you want to go for it today and reach that left hand towards the ankle using some leverage, keeping the spine long, the neck long, the neck long. One more breath. And windmill all the way down, lunge. Rock back and forth on your right foot. And then just take a moment to let those hips sink down. And drop the back knee. Breathe here. As you're ready, rock it back. You can walk the foot forward a bit and toes come up. Just lengthening through the spine. So I know we have at least one newer person joining us lately. So if you have any questions, always feel free to let me know. And when you're ready, you can rock forward. And we'll heel toe the left foot all the way over for pigeon. Come on down to any version you'd like. Bring the hands together for prayer. Maybe relax the head. Maybe coming all the way down to the forearms or to the back of the lower arms. Let this be your own little secret, private introvert cave, just letting the rest of the world melt away for a moment. You are your only concern. Is there any way you can show yourself more kindness in this pose? Maybe making a little adjustment, letting go of a thought that's unhelpful, whatever it is. Just a couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, take your time walking yourself back up. Swing your right leg around and left leg comes out long. Facing your left toes here. And make any adjustments you need. Come forward, lengthening through your spine. Almost like you're reaching your forehead towards your foot. So that's probably not possible for most of us, but that's the direction we're going. From here, if you'd like to try that twist, you can go for it. Right hand to the outside of the leg, or maybe the outside of the foot. Left hand giving you a little leverage as you twist open. spine long, always long in the twist. And when you're ready, you can slowly unwind. Deep breath. And then come to center. So from here, we're just going to take a little neck stretch. Bring your hands by your sides, walk your fingertips out as far as they'll go, and still be resting on the floor, or they can even float up a little bit. Drop your chin to your chest, breathe into the back of your neck. Slowly roll right ear to right shoulder, and just breathe here. Letting go. You guys are doing a great job. And slowly roll to the other side. And if you want to know how I know you're doing a great job, I just do. I can't see you, but you all made it here and everyone's doing their best. Some days the mind is not wanting to quiet down, and that's okay. Just the act of practicing, of trying, can make a difference. Even if you don't see it in this moment, later you might notice more space between the thoughts. Come back to center and lift the head to neutral. All right, take a deep breath here. And let's come all the way down to lying on the floor. Got my timer here. Okay, great. You've got time for a nice long wind down. Start with hugging the knees into your chest, and you can rock a little bit side to side. For some people, this is a nice massage on the back. For other people, it's like bone pushing on the floor. So you don't have to rock, but it's there as an option. And then drop the feet down. Hands come by your sides. You can kind of squeeze, walk your shoulder blades under. We're going to take a little mini bridge here. So first, just pressing your low back down and peeling your butt off the ground just a little bit. We're just going to do that motion a couple times. Just observing the movement of the pelvis, the movement of the lower spine. And then if you'd like, you can lift your hips up a little bit higher, maybe walking your shoulders under more. And then maybe pressing into your heels to lift your hips all the way. Chin tucked, chest reaching towards your chin. Breathe here. And slowly lower. From here, you can take your hands and just lengthen your neck. Pick up your head, lengthen your neck, and put it back down. Re-lengthening. So in bridge, we often go, chin comes up. So you want to keep it tucked. One more round, bring your hands by your sides, lift your hips up just a little bit of ways, walk your shoulders under, press down into your hands, or you can clasp them and lift, lift, lift. Breathing here. And slowly lower. Once again, making sure your neck is long and just breathing here. Open the arms nice and wide, palms facing up. Spread your feet as wide as your mat. And we're just going to windshield wiper the knees left and right a few times. And then back to center. Walk the toes and the heels together to touch. And this time, drop the knees all the way to the left for a gentle twist. Gaze can be straight up or maybe turning towards the right hand here. Just breathing and letting go. Slowly, gently come back to center. Take your time in the middle. And when you're ready, you can come to the other side. You did a couple different twists today. In this twist, just let go. You don't have to hold your body in any certain way. If your legs kind of fall or slide a little bit apart, that's okay. And one more time back to center. From here, let your knees fall open, soles of the feet come together to touch. So while we're getting a little stretch here in the inner legs and the groin, you can bring your hands, your fingertips to your sternum, your chest, and just give yourself a little massage. There are some in yoga what they call marma points right at the center of your sternum that are great for immunity or just helping your body with healing. And then maybe moving up and massaging below your collar. And then maybe bringing your hands to your head, thumbs out long, and you can use your thumb to just give yourself a little massage in the back of your head. So my hands are clasped behind my head, and my right thumb is just pressing gently into the top of my neck here, right below where the neck and the skull come together. Maybe just find that tender spot or that uncomfortable spot if you have one, press gently, take a few breaths. other side. And back to center. Once more, take any final movements that feel good for you before coming to your final resting pose, Savasana. Once you get here, your hands can be on your belly or they can be by your side. And you might just give yourself a couple little self adjustments. So maybe picking up your right foot and extending your leg and relaxing, and left foot extending, relaxing. Maybe using your hands to lengthen your neck once more. Maybe walking your shoulders under a little bit. And then using your breath to get a little stretch through your heart space. And release. Take a moment here to just scan your body from top to bottom, observing any sensations, emotions, any spots, anything at all that doesn't serve you today. Just observe it and then let it go. When you're ready, you can let that go. You can take a couple more breaths to complete your scan if you're not done yet. Take a moment to just imagine, just ponder, and draw up an image in your mind of the kindest person you can imagine. It could be someone real or someone pretend. Take a moment to just imagine how they would move, how they would treat others, and how they would treat themselves. If there's any challenge in your life today, maybe imagining what this kindest person might say to you or the hug they might give you. How would they respond to your challenge to help? Imagine that this kindest person is also the most peaceful person. You recognize that they are able to be kind because they have filled up their own well first, their own reserve. Imagine what it would feel like to be this kindest, most peaceful person. What would the feeling in the center of your chest be like? Perhaps radiating light or warmth, perhaps a clear and open feeling. Take a moment now to shift your awareness and understanding of this kindest, most peaceful person, and to recognize that you are this person, capable of treating yourself with the highest grace, the highest kindness, and love. Allow yourself in this moment to feel what it feels like to be this peaceful and gentle soul that you are. And if you feel it, maybe part way or a little bit, but not all the way, that's okay. Just trust that this new peaceful way of being is breaking through, coming forth and shining out. Take a moment to visualize and imagine how you, as this kindest, most peaceful person, would move your body, how you would move with gentleness towards yourself and curiosity for the feeling of your own body. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and incorporate a little bit of movement, maybe waving your hands around, or reaching your arms up, taking some little circles and spirals with your wrists or elbows. Keep this kind and gentle spirit as you bend your knees. And as you find your way slowly up to seated. When you get there, you can keep your eyes closed as you bring your palms to your heart space. And just take a moment here to just be with yourself, this kind, gentle, peaceful, and amazing soul that you are. And while you're here, take a moment to just acknowledge all of the other people practicing with you in this moment. Let's see. Oh, wonderful. There's still a couple of us here and myself. One more deep breath. And a big sigh out. Thank you so much for practicing with me tonight. May you take this peacefulness with you into your night and through the rest of your week. Namaste. All right, I'll see you next week, everyone. Thank you, Brittany. You'll see your plant is in the back there. All right, bye, everyone.